What's going on, YouTube? It is Jamie motherfucking Woods back with another motherfucking video. And today, guys, let's go right back to soccer because I feel like I've been talking a lot about football. Football's coming. I haven't talked about football in a while, but let's talk about my other favorite sport, football, or as it's known in America, soccer. All right, so guys, specifically, I want to talk about the Premier League. I'm going to talk about every single league sooner or later. The next one I'm thinking of talking about is La Liga. But for right now, I'm going to talk about Premier League because we all know Premier League is the best fucking league in the world. And I don't care what any of y'all motherfuckers say. But that's another topic for another day. But guys, let's talk about the Premier League because I think the Premier League is actually going to be the most interesting league in the world this year. And it's weird to say this year because we just finished the season a couple days ago. And now we're going to start it in a couple weeks. But anyways, I think the Premier League is going to be very interesting because there's a whole list of great talent that have emerged out of the Premier League this past couple months. You got Pulisic from Chelsea, Mount, you have Foden from Man City, you got Greenwood from Manchester United, and possibly Sancho coming in. And let me not even forget about Timo Werner, and Ziyech, or however the fuck you pronounce his name. And all these guys are coming into Chelsea. Liverpool's always gonna be Liverpool. They got their players. They're gonna be getting a couple big stars maybe this summer. Then you got every other team with amazing talent and all that. You have Saka, I believe his name is Saka from Arsenal. There's a lot of great talent right now in the Premier League. And I feel like every team is going to get better. Look at Man City. They already got a couple. They got this guy, Ake, whatever it is, the center back. And I think he's going to do great things for Man City. I think he's a great pickup. Even though they got him for, 40, 50 mil? Or pounds, whatever it was. 40 or 50 mil I think they got him for. I think he's going to be a solid pick. I wish he could have been in Manchester United, but we're looking at our own little pitch. We're looking at Gabriel, I believe his name is, from the French league, from Ligue 1. So we're going to see if we'll pick him up. But I think for the Premier League is going to be extremely interesting because I think this year there's actually going to be competition. Last year it was just Liverpool and maybe Man City. But like Liverpool dominated, guys. It's just Liverpool is a very dominant team this season. And yes, they may not have won the treble, or they may not have won the Champions League this year, even though they like to claim that they did, because you have all these players taking pictures with the Premier League title and the fucking Champions League title, like if they just won the treble. Like, no, motherfuckers, you guys did not win the treble. The last team that won the treble was the 1999 Manchester United team that won that. And y'all motherfuckers didn't do that, so stop taking all these pictures, all these trophies, thinking that you won all these trophies in one single season, because no, you didn't. But don't tell Liverpool fans that. They think that they won everything in one season. They think that the Liverpool team for this past year was the greatest team, and that's another video for another day. But yeah, so I think this year is going to be between 4 teams. It's going to be very interesting, and I think those 4 teams are going to be Liverpool, of course, Man City, Manchester United, and Chelsea. Now, this is going to be, I still don't think, even with the pickups that Chelsea is going to be making, and even with the pickups Manchester United are going to be making, if we pick up more than 2 players, I don't think we'll still be on the level of Man City or Liverpool. I think Man City has a very, very, very deep roster. I think in order for a Chelsea or for a Man United to even get a hold of these teams, because we've beaten Manchester United, by the way, has beaten Manchester City twice this year. Twice. You heard me. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has beaten Pep Guardiola twice this season. Chelsea has also beaten Man City. But if we're talking about a title race in the Premier League where every single game counts, Man City, I will always have Man City. I will always pick Man City above those 2 teams. Even if we do pick up Sancho, even if Chelsea does pick up Havertz, I still don't think we're there yet. And mostly that is because Chelsea, let's talk about Chelsea first. Chelsea does not have a defense. Let's just put that out there. There is a reason why their goal differential is so fucking bad. Because they keep, and a lot of it probably has to do with the goalie, but I think their defense is also part of that. But their goal differential, let's look at it like this. They score a lot of fucking goals, and they allow a lot of fucking goals. That fucked up Chelsea this year. That could have fucked up Chelsea. Because let's just say if Leicester would have won their last couple games, we won our last couple games, it would have been us and Leicester in the Champions League and not Chelsea. Simply because of their goal differential. They got lucky Leicester lost the last couple games. They got very lucky. Because Chelsea was on and off. And mostly, it's because of the defense. They lost and they tied up a lot of those games because of the defense. And until they get a solid defense, until they stop focusing on the offense and focus on that defense, they're never going to win the Prem League. Because the Prem League, every single game counts. Any team can beat you at any Sunday or any Saturday or whenever. Any team can beat you. We've seen that over and over and over this year in the Prem League where these little teams beat these big teams. I think Norwich beat Man City this year. No one expected that. And Man City suffered a couple losses this year. And if it wasn't for that, I think they probably would have been closer to competing with Liverpool this year. Even Liverpool lost a couple games they shouldn't have. Look at that game with Arsenal. They should have not lost that game. But that's exactly my point. If you do not have a good defense week in and week out, you will lose some games you shouldn't be losing it. And that's because of your defense. And granted, Liverpool have a defense. They actually have one of the best defenses in the world. They conceded the least goals in all of Premier League and one of the least goals in all of Europe. They're right up there with Real Madrid. They only conceded 33 goals. 33 goals. That's pretty good. That's where I'm trying to get to. I mean, Manchester United, we're right up there too. I think Liverpool conceded 33. Man City was 34-35, and we were 36. We're right up there. I think Harry Maguire and Wan-Bissaka. And speaking of that, let's talk about Man United real quick. Man United, we need to pick up a right winger. We need to focus a bit on that defense as well, particularly the center back position. We're focusing on Gabriel. I hope those rumors are correct because I think Everton is also competing for that. And also, Everton could become, in the next couple years, I think Everton could also be a dark horse. Ancelotti is going to transform that team little by little. I think he's going to bring in some pickups. But currently, Everton and us are competing for Gabriel from the French league. I forgot his last name. He's a Brazilian center back. He's left-footed, a little bit pacey. He's good on the ball. He's someone that we definitely need in this fucking team to pair up with Harry Maguire, because we all know how good fucking center back duo can make all the difference in this league and in soccer and football in general. And we need a guy like that. We need a center back. We need a right winger. Hopefully we get Sancho. It seems like we're taking forever on this fucking deal, but we need to close it up very soon. Manchester United needs a couple pieces, and we need to add some depth to this team because this team has no depth whatsoever. Because as soon as the second half comes along, we're trying to replace players. We have to seriously think about it because the thing is, the level of play goes all the way down when you take out Bruno and Pogba. And so we need players in the midfield that can, and mostly midfield players. We need players who come in that midfield that we can depend on. Because Lingard, I'm sorry, Lingard, I love you. You scored that last goal for Leicester. I appreciate that. But players like Lingard, Mata, Igalu, all these players just aren't doing it. We need players that can come in, that can take over in the second half, that can score goals for us, that can close out games. Because we need to close out games. We saw what happened in Southampton. We saw what happened in all these other games where we let go of leads. And we cannot allow that to happen next year if we are trying to make the top four and trying to compete for the Prem League. So that's Man United. I talked about Chelsea. I talked about Man United. Let's talk about the other two. Let's talk about Man City first. Man City, they already picked up two players already. They picked up, I think his name is Torres. Fernando. Oh, is it Fernando? No, it's not Fernando Torres. I think his last name is Torres or Fernando, whatever his name is. He's a right winger from, I think it's Valencia or Sevilla. They just picked him up for a good amount of money from La Liga. He's going to be, hopefully, because Pep Guardiola and Man City know what the fuck they're doing with these transfers. A lot of the transfers are very good. And on top of it, they picked up Aki from Bournemouth. Is that pronounced? I'm butchering a bunch of names today, guys. Bournemouth, whatever the fuck their names. Who cares? They're relegated. But they picked him up for 40 mil. He's going to be one of their new center backs, so that's a good pickup in my eyes. I don't know if I would have paid that much money for him, but he's a good pickup. And Man City's been doing moves, and I hope Man United can get on the ball too, because Man City, Chelsea, all these teams are picking up people. Meanwhile, we're over here stuck on Jadon Sancho. But anyways, Man City is definitely gonna focus on defense this year because it seems like defense was an issue for them ever since Company retired and a couple players got injured. They were struggling a bit on defense. I think overall, Man City on paper is the best team in England. I think they're even better than Liverpool. If you look at them from a roster standpoint, I think they can beat Liverpool. The only thing, I don't care if Liverpool actually, Man City did beat Liverpool. And they crushed them too, by the way, for all you Liverpool fucking fans out there, fanatics. But I think Man City is the better team. I think Man City is going to give Liverpool a bit more of a competition next year. And Liverpool is not going to have it easy again. Every team just got stronger. Last year, every team got weaker. This year, every team got stronger. So Liverpool, y'all have competition this year. Man City's getting better. All these other teams getting better. Speaking of Liverpool, let's talk about Liverpool right now. Liverpool, I'm a big fan of the way they play. Even though I hate them and I love Man United, I love the way Liverpool plays. I love Jurgen Klopp, very charismatic and likable coach, even though he has his arrogant moments. He's very arrogant here and there. But it's I just fuck with Liverpool. As much as I hate to say it, I fuck with them. They just have a very sound team that is not selfish. They're very good at passing. They play some high speed, in your face football. You know, Firmino, Salah, and Mane have to be possibly the best front three in all of the world. Virgil van Dijk is the best center back in the world, easily. Robertson, probably the best left back in the world. Alexander-Arnold, generational talent. The man is the best right back in the world, bar none in my eyes. That team has a lot of players that just are the best in the world. Alisson Becker, probably the best goalie in the world at this very moment. And if he's not, he's in the top 3, top 5. And then now, don't even let me get started on that midfield. Jordan Henderson has been an amazing captain for that team. He's done a great job in that midfield. And Wijnaldum, Keita, all those players, they just mesh very well for this team. The only thing about Liverpool that I see that they need to focus on in order to continue to keep being the team that they were is that they need to get more depth. They need to actually bring in players to compete with them. I think they don't really have that, to be honest with you, especially when it comes to the attack. I think when it comes to the front three, they really don't have that much competition. Origi, all these other players are just not doing it. They need to bring in players. Timo Werner would have been a great pickup for this team, but they missed out on that. And I think they need to get some wingers. They need to get a striker to compete with Firmino and Salah and Mane. And on top of that, these players are getting older. If you look at Liverpool's roster, and this is why I'm saying Man City, I'll take Man City over Liverpool any day. They're deeper and they're younger than fucking Liverpool is. Look at Liverpool's roster. Mane, Salah, and Firmino. Firmino is 25, 26. Salah and Mane are in their late 20s. Van Dijk is in his late 20s. And granted, center backs can't play into the mid-30s, so I'll give him that. Robertson, 25 or 26. Alexander-Arnold's probably one of the youngest people in that starting lineup. Their midfield, Henderson is 30? Wijnaldum, all these players are in their late 20s or so. So that team is already in their prime. But they're not going to be in their prime for very long, and they need players to replace those players. So that's the thing. They need that. And they're lucky that not one of them got injured this year, that not one of their front three or anyone got injured this year. Because if that was the case, it would have been screwed. Imagine having to replace Firmino with Origi or replace Salah with someone else. It just wouldn't have worked. I think they need to get players just in case one of these guys get injured. They are getting older. They need that. And if they want to keep winning trophies, if they want to compete with the Man City, because Man City is bringing it this year, I think Man City is very pissed because Man City takes that shit very seriously. They take the Premier League very, very seriously. They're going to come back with a vengeance next year. Man United is just getting better. Chelsea's getting better. Liverpool will have competition and they must spend money. If Liverpool does not spend money this year, I'm telling you right now, they will be in 4th or 5th place this year. Because now you got the Wolves, you got Sheffield, you got Everton, maybe Arsenal. You got all these teams that might be picking up players, might not be picking up players. They might be better, they might not. Liverpool need to watch the fuck out because Man City is getting better. So here are my predictions. Now that we're going over the top 4, because we don't give a fuck about any other team. Arsenal, we don't give a fuck about those FA Cup losers. But I'm gonna predict my top 4, and of course, I am gonna make a prediction video on the Premier League again before the Premier League starts. But this is just my early prediction. I will make a final one once I see the transfers and whoever one picked up. But I'm going Man City. I think Man City is gonna win the league next year. I don't think Man United is gonna have it just yet, and I don't think Chelsea is gonna have enough just yet. I think they're a year away or so, a year or two away from being in that position. But right now, I'll give it to Man City. Man City number 1. I'll give Liverpool number 2. Just because I have faith, I think they're gonna bring in someone or two. If they don't, I think they're gonna fall off the 4th place. I don't think that team's gonna have it in them again to do something like that again. especially when they don't have the deep roster that all these other teams will have. Besides Man United, of course, but they need new players to come into that team to challenge these players, or else they're gonna fall back. But I'm gonna be a little more optimistic with Liverpool. I'm gonna give them second place. I'm gonna give Man United. I'm gonna go Man United third place. Man United has a very good track record against Chelsea, who will be our main competitors for the 3 and 4 spot. I don't think Man United and Chelsea will crack second or first place. I think we're very below that, but we will be there one day. But I think Man United is gonna get third place again next season. And hey, it might change from here till the time the Premier League starts when I see what players we picked up. But for now, we're going third place because I think Man United needs more players. We need more players in order to compete with the best of the best in the Premier League. And right now, we're just not there. We're short of it, but we're not there yet. Third place, Man United. We will be doing a lot better than this season, I will say that. Fourth place, Chelsea. Chelsea have no defense, and it seems like they're still not focusing on their defense. They want to bring in a goalie. They want to bring in Oblak. I don't know if that's the case. We're going to see. If that's the case, if they improve that defense, maybe I might just put them a little bit ahead. But right now, I put them below Man United because Man United has their number. And so those are my top 4 for the Premier League this season. That is my early predictions for the Premier League. And yeah, guys, comment below if you disagree. I'm sure there'll be many of you that's going to disagree. But those are my predictions. Put your predictions down in the comment section, and peace out.